The distinguished gentleman, my friend and colleague from Massachusetts, Mr. Tierney.
The gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank my colleague for yielding the time. Mr. Speaker, I rise to urge the House to act on responsible legislation that I've introduced that would help tens of millions of college students and graduates and parents, middle-class families all across this country would be able to refinance their existing loans to the same low rate offered to new borrowers in the student loan program. As the President said earlier this week when he voiced support for the bill, this should be a no-brainer. Homeowners and small businesses are so often able to refinance their debt, there's no reason at all that students and parents shouldn't be able to do the same. Refinancing would be a significant financial help to those students and their parents. In fact, a recent analysis by the nonpartisan Congressional Research Service showed that middle-class undergraduate student with an average loan debt would save more than $4,000 over the life of that loan. A typical graduate student would save more than $2,500, and a typical parent who borrowed for their child's education would save $3,500 or more. Now, my colleagues know that these savings would be invested right back into the economy. Last year, the Center for American Progress estimated that refinancing just some of these federal loans would pump $21 billion into the economy. That's because these people are going to be able to save $40 to $100 a month, thousands of the course of their loan, and they have expenses and necessities for which they have to pay. Our bill is a good deal for taxpayers. Just last week, the Congressional Budget Office scored our bill as generating $72.5 billion in savings over 10 years. Mr. Speaker, more and more constituents are writing my office, emailing, Facebooking, stopping me in the street to talk about stories about how they or their children are buried in student debt. 2 years ago, I received an email, 2 days ago, I received an email from a concerned mother in my district, and this is what she had to say: that she and her husband followed the rules and have been able to own their own home, support 2 children to adulthood. But she feels that her daughter would not be able to do the same as she currently owes $60,000 in college loans. Her interest rates vary from 6.5% to 8.5%. She's drowning in her own debt, and she's only 24 years of age. Mr. Speaker, this bill deserves support.
I yield the gentleman an additional 30 seconds.
The gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized for 30 seconds.
I appreciate that from my colleague. The reason this mother supports the bill is that she knows it's going to help her daughter pay her loans in a reasonable way while pursuing her other goals in life. This is really, Mr. Speaker, about whose side are you on? Are we on the side of special interests and allowing them to continue tax favors while the middle-class Americans end up lugging around this heavy burden of debt? I'm on the side of that concerned mother and her daughter and others in this country who are concerned about their children's future. Let's bring this bill to the floor for a vote. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.